Hey everybody, so today I'm going to do a vlog as promised. As if you haven't been keeping up with my community tabs on my YouTube channel, I do want to do a vlog showing off those costume tracksuits about the Lost Galaxy Rangers for any future Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film projects if I'm going to, in the future, do live action fan films. And this is something I've been wanting to do for years, and I never, even regardless of the lacking resources and stuff I didn't have back then, but today in 2025 I do. If you haven't been keeping up, how I ended up getting those Galaxy Ranger costume tracksuits, I got those off a website called Store Merch, which is similar to this website called Gear Humans. And Gear Humans has costume tracksuits of not just Power Rangers, but they also have like all kinds of costume tracksuits of other franchises and fandoms like Dragon Ball Z, Star Wars, Marvel, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, the works, stuff like that. But when I saw that they had some Power Ranger tracksuits, I was like, I gotta see what they had, because, you know, as a Power Rangers fan like myself, I got sick and tired of seeing, you know, Mighty Morphin getting all the glory, and I want to see other companies and other makers of merchandise do like costume tracksuits of other Power Rangers, which they do. Now, when I was on Gear Humans, if you probably haven't heard of that website, Gear Humans also has costume tracksuits. But you know, if you would browse your daily social media, you will see advertisements for that kind of stuff. And if you haven't, then you probably are like living under a rock. I know that's disrespectful of me. But when I saw that they had, now when I was on Gear Humans, I started to discover that site 2 years ago, not so long ago. And on Gear Humans, they had like, you know, costume tracksuits for Power Rangers. You have your classic Mighty Morphin, but they also had like costume tracksuits for like SPD, Dino Thunder, Mystic Force, Dino Charge, Mega Force. But they didn't have everybody, because that was with Gear Humans. But with other websites like Store Merch, where I found the Lost Galaxy ones, they did have the Galaxy Rangers, but they also had Turbo, Zeo, Dino Thunder, In Space, Mega Force, Turbo, Zeo, Alien Rangers, all of the Power Rangers that they represented for the costume tracksuits. Even though they're not as good, they're not going to be as good as like your usual Power Ranger cosplay suits, because, you know, considering I'm a huge Lost Galaxy fan, I'm not like the hugest fan of it in the world, but just I want to see if they had something based on my favorite Power Ranger season, and which they did, because, you know, everybody knows how I know how the fandom feels about the Lost Galaxy Ginga Man designs, because of like, they got the Charlie Brown thing. Who cares? You know, be honest though, obviously a lot of people, I get how people feel, and, you know, to each their own about the zigzag on the front of their suits and all. Obviously the zigzags on the suits are supposed to resemble teeth, because even though, yeah, like when you think about that zigzag, that's probably why most Power Ranger fans, if they're ever going to attempt cosplay in our fandom, you know, yeah, they're not going to want to do a Charlie Brown Power Ranger. But sure, yeah, but it made no difference with Lightspeed Rescue and their Umbrella Corporation looking graphic on the front of their chests or anything, or the Space Rangers with the colored squares around that little white line bar thing on the chest of their suits either. You get what I mean? Or even that Angel, you know, even like the Angel graphic chest thing on the Megaforce suits. You know, every Power Ranger costume design is going to be unique and sometimes a little off-putting. But of course, Lost Galaxy suits are going to be off-putting with most. But hey, I got all the suits, but, you know, I chose not to do the Magna Defender one because I'm reserving a more authentic, screen-authentic Magna Defender costume for like in the future for like display, or if anybody wants to do a cosplay of Magna Defender for any projects I'll do in the future. Because, you know, now the reason I'm doing this vlog and talking about it is because if you haven't been aware about what's been going on with my fan film content of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, is that, yeah, the recent one that I've been working on since 2022, it's just, there's a lot of stuff going on with that film. It will be out when it's done, but I mean, that's just an update there. But it's just right now I'm going through things like trying to find housing and stuff at the moment. And I know I haven't did a vlog video in person, first time in 6 months after I already informed everybody about what happened to my brother and following his passing. But now I'm here doing a vlog talking about how I got those Galaxy Ranger suits, and I hope you guys should know that, yeah, I got those suits. Now, if you get like the costume, sweatshirt, it's like $42. You get the pants, it's like $46, something like that. In total, a piece, it's like, you know, if you do like one Ranger, it's like, you know, the whole suit is like $94 overall, or if you do half of the suit. The t-shirt is like about 30 something dollars on store merch or Gear Humans, depending on what Power Ranger costume, shirt, suit that you want to do. And I know Lost Galaxy may have the most unpopular Ranger suit design again, but hey, got the suits. So let's take a look in my storage unit that I got the suits and see how they look in person, because I wasn't sure if the suits were legit or not. But let's go ahead and take a look at those suits. Oh yeah, as you can see, this Red Ranger helmet, all I did was just take an existing Marvel Legends Iron Man helmet, made a custom red Lost Galaxy Ranger helmet out of it, because until I get the real helmet, if you haven't been keeping up with my social media, if I ever do get the real helmet, I don't know what to do with this, but this is just temporary for the time being. But it's almost close to like if I had the real helmet and there wasn't any imperfections or some cheap knocking off of it or anything. So I know, because if you haven't been keeping up with my social medias in a while, and especially with my journey of doing Power Rangers cosplay, and let alone Lost Galaxy cosplay, this is like basically what I'm doing here too, because right now I only have a Iron Man helmet to make a custom, Power Ranger helmet out of. It's just Iron Man, but just masked up like a Power Ranger. All the times people say the 2017 movie Rangers look like multicolored Iron Mans, but I digress. Now on to the main focus, the suits themselves. What I have here stacked up is by color order, and especially my liking, it doesn't have to be in Lost Galaxy's typical order of red, blue, green, yellow, and pink, but it can be in any order. So first we're starting with the Red Ranger, because everybody knows Leo is my personal favorite Red Ranger, so I had to get Leo's suit, and it looks pretty decent and pretty authentic, but it's close to having the real costume, because I've already talked about how I never had for Halloween of 1999, if you haven't seen some of my couple of videos a while ago, not so long ago, that back when Power Rangers Lost Galaxy was out, for Halloween of '99, I've always wanted to be the Red Galaxy Ranger, but my parents insisted to be a Star Wars character instead. But hey, over 25 years since Lost Galaxy, well, 26 now, because it's not a big rounded anniversary or anything, since this year is Lightspeed Rescue's 25th anniversary. But I still going to continue celebrating Lost Galaxy's 25th throughout up until we get to the 25th anniversary of the airing of the team-up episodes of Lost Galaxy and Lightspeed Rescue. Just look at how vibrant the colors of the white and the Rangers base colors are on these suits like this, especially on red. And I think this is like my favorite because, again, Leo has always been my favorite Red Ranger. So, and that I use the Lost Galaxy Red Ranger as a mascot for anything PRLG related for my channel and content, even though, again, I don't own anything Power Rangers. So that's the shirt. And then on to the pants. Now the pants are a different color. I mean, it's still all right. It's still a decent shade of red. You just look at how, even though the red is going to be different on the pants as opposed to on the shirt, but it still works. I mean, as long as it's still the Red Ranger. And also when you get a Power Rangers costume tracksuit, since these are, a costume sweatsuit, they do have the string to tie up the pants so that way you can keep the pants steady on your waist, like with me. So that's good and all. And in order for me to keep that helmet on my head until I get an authentic, more accurate Power Ranger helmet, I do have one of these neck covering things. What I would do is just pull the neck covering all the way up to the tip of my cranium, and just make it like as if I, to keep the helmet steady, because this helmet is not for like actual protection. But until I get a real, Power Ranger costume helmet, whatever, because, since again, Lost Galaxy is not MMPR, so I just kind of feel like, all right, I'm going to need to get something to keep my head steady while wearing this over my head. And I do had some breathing issues when putting that helmet on for too long, but I'm still going to readjust this until I start doing full-on cosplay, because I got a Comic-Con convention coming up this month as of this recording. So that's the Red Ranger suit. Next is the Yellow Ranger. If you have seen my, okay, let's talk about it. Yeah, I know, Lost Galaxy Yellow was a girl, Ginga Man, the Yellow Ranger was a guy. And I've already pointed out in my vlog, or anything that I blogged on social media when I got these suits, that I mentioned about how, like, all the times I talked about doing, when I did that fan film thing of the Rise of Trakina, that I used to be the Yellow Ranger, but not in a costume, but it was like for like a paper doll. But hey, this is close to what looked like in the show, but though, yes, I know Lost Galaxy Yellow is a girl, but it can still suit me as a dude because at least I'm staying somewhat close to the Sentai given my gender, but it doesn't matter as long as you're the Yellow Lost Galaxy Ranger. I mean, it doesn't matter who's in the suit as long as you're the Ranger, male or female. All is equal and all. And the yellow is on point with like the shirt. So, but though I did have some issue though when I first got the pants, the string was all through the seam of the holes, and I had to get a pair of scissors to dig it through to get that string and keep the pants together. So make sure there was no problems. So okay, and then here's Yellow's, Lost Galaxy Yellow's suit, and all of that ready. And then next up, you have Blue. Now, at first, Blue, when I got the Lost Galaxy blue suit, the blue looked a little too bright. Like, it was bright. It was that bright at first, but I think maybe it'd be due to the lighting of where I'm from. And so, actually, no, the blue is on point, especially from the lighting on this video. But yeah, this is really on point. But also, there is no blue neck collar, like, round collar to be colored like the Ranger as is from like the show, because due to the size. And I did get Lost Galaxy blue and green and reds sweater shirts, all extra large. But I think when I get new Lost Galaxy green and blue sweater shirts, they got to be regular large and not extra large, because I think that's where I went wrong on this. But still, nevertheless, blue is all right. And so we have that. But what really got me though is when I got Lost Galaxy green, pink, and blue. Whoever printed the boot area of the costume, they made that zigzag a little too big and oversized to where the boots are supposed to be. Because on the red and yellow Ranger, the zigzag was on point and accurate. But I don't know why on the pink, blue, and green suits I got for these, I don't know why the zigzag on the leg is all wrong. I kind of feel like they probably should have paid more attention on the quality control on that. But other than that, I still like the suit. I really do. And knowing Kai has grown on me as a Blue Ranger in terms of Blue Rangers in the franchise. All right, time for Damon the decoy. Okay, let me shut up. Damon in his suit, like the Blue Ranger. I got his shirt extra large, but in no green color collar. Coloring on the collar of the shirt, the costume shirt. The green is probably one of the best looking greens I've ever seen on a Power Ranger costume for cosplay. But yeah, even though with me being a black dude, yeah, well, the less we talk about Damon and Trakina being married in real life, later divorced, the better. And then here's his pants, just like I was saying about with blue and pink, with their things, of course. So here's Lost Galaxy green shirt, and here's the pants. Yeah, no, it's going to be tough getting in his helmet, though, when I get all the Lost Galaxy helmets, because Anarchy Cosplay never, ever, ever, ever... If you go on Anarchy Cosplay on, let's say, Etsy, they don't hardly have Lost Galaxy Green's helmet, so you're going to have to find a Lost Galaxy Green cosplay helmet. Last but certainly not least, Kendrick's/Caron's costume, Lost Galaxy Pink. Okay, now Lost Galaxy Pink, I managed to get at least two, like the Red Ranger. I managed to get two of her costume shirt, and boy, look how vibrant the pink is on this. I mean, this shade of pink, power of pink. Oh man. But even though the first one is a lot cleaner, but my second one had this smidge on it on the bottom, but I'm not going to show it. But yeah, this is Lost Galaxy Pink's costume tracksuit, and just look how great it is. Now, I know I've seen a few male Power Ranger fans cosplay as Pink Rangers, but I did took a risk. If you go on Instagram at Power Rangers Lost Galaxy Fan Film, that I did took a chance wearing the Pink Ranger costume tracksuit, because like I wasn't sure how people would judge me wearing the pink suit. But I took a chance because I did manage to represent all of the Rangers all at once. And but hey, I got pink already. If any female is interested in being Lost Galaxy Pink in the future for my cosplay, for any cosplay projects and fan film projects, live action wise in the future. Yeah, it took me 13 years to get all the Lost Galaxy suits, and I did it. Now, I did get a skirt. Now, and the skirt had to be a separate piece. It's not like, it's not as close to what Lost Galaxy pink skirt always been. Yeah, the skirt, I thought it had pockets. But the skirt is close to, I think, would fit with the costume just fine. Because like if you're going to do the female variant of the Lost Galaxy Pink Ranger and all the other female Pink Rangers and Power Rangers and Super Sentai, I managed to get a skirt for the Pink Ranger suit because knowing the tracksuits were actually yes, are gender neutral, but the costume, but I feel like the Pink Ranger skirt costume could have came with a skirt, but that's why I have to customize it and see how it looks like, let's say on a mannequin or something, to see how it looks. And whenever I get a Lost Galaxy Pink Ranger helmet, and see how it looks on that too. So I have a skirt in case anybody will be interested in putting the suit on with the skirt. And then here's the pants that goes with the Pink Ranger suit. Yeah, so there you go. And this is the Pink Ranger shirt that had the smidge on this. I mean, yeah, I bought 2 of these, but I'm just like, yeah, I mean, one was enough. Why did I buy another one? Hey, look, those custom action figures for the fan film. They're wondering, where's that goddamn fan film? It's been over 3 years. Yeah, I know. It's pretty dark out right now. So with that being said, so in case if my more recent fan film project of PRLG doesn't work out, the one with the action figures that I showed off, if that doesn't work out, then I'm going to have to take another couple years off to finally, and I mean finally, after years of being called Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film, to finally do a fan film of Lost Galaxy where I had people in the costumes for once. And also I got to find clothes that would resemble Leo, Kai, Damon, and the rest of civilian clothes. And I've already came up with a cosplay costume custom of like Trakina's costume already for that kind of project in the near future or so, because I know a lot of people have been wondering for me that why did it took this long for me to get these Ranger suits for a fan project? Well, it's just, well, but it's just, it's something that I've been longing to do, but didn't do it like 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, all those years up until this point in 2025. Because in case I have to like give up the production medium of fan films I was doing earlier, and even I've already given up on the paper doll stuff, but if I were to do, you know, if the action figure movie doesn't work out in that mediated form of a fan project, I'm going to have to do a live action movie, and we'll have to take some time. I'm going to have to figure out how am I going to, like, I mean, it's not going to be a serious project, but like, if the project had to be done through crowdfunding, like a lot of fan projects have done on the internet, then I could see that. But for now, I'm just still going to continue doing these projects as I've always been doing them since the channel started and before I even had this channel. So, and yeah, the camera's a little blurry right now because it's nighttime. I really want to do this kind of project. I mean, wanted to do this stuff because I'm doing this as more for like cosplay first, but if anyone is interested, I'm mainly looking for those locally in Maryland, because this is something I said 13 years ago, but it didn't work because a lot of people didn't know where I was and all of that back in the, because, you know, with that Ninja Kids thing of Power Rangers, and they had to shoot that thing at Utah. How about I do a Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan project here in Maryland? But it's just, it's going to be hard finding anybody in Maryland that's a Lost Galaxy fan, because you have like so many people I've come across over the, you know, the last couple of years in this MMPR nostalgia fixated point in the fandom and all of pop culture. Anytime Power Rangers brings up is always, you know, Mighty Morphin. So it's going to be tough to find people who have seen the other Power Rangers outside of Mighty Morphin. So you probably already know that just. So that with being said, that other fan film of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, I still yet to put it out. I know, I'm sorry. I'm terrible at putting it out like I was supposed to this year, but due to a major family matter and what's going on with me still currently at the moment, it's going to take a while for that film to come out. So you got to hold on to your Quasar Sabers and have patience, because it's just, there's a lot of stuff on my plate right now to get that film out. And again, like I said, if it doesn't do well, I'm going to have to take another couple years off, or come up with this next dilemma coming up. So with that being said, thank you for watching this vlog, and I'll see you guys another time. And I hope you guys hold on until I put up that Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film that I've been working on since 2022.